All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to talk about something that's very important because we've been talking about this for the last couple of days now, especially on my live streams where we've been talking about how the pendulum is swinging back the other way. Now, with that conversation, I want people to thoroughly understand that just because the public perception is that the pendulum is swinging the other way, because obviously it is, right? When you start looking at what these companies are doing, I want you guys to understand that most of the people who are swinging the other way, most of the people who are swinging the pendulum to the opposite side, or at least closer to the middle where it belongs, I want you to understand that a lot of them are chameleons, and they are doing this just because they feel like that is what they should do right now in order to weather the storm for the next 4 years. And it seems like I'm not the only one who thinks that, because we have an article here from Fandom Pulse with a headline that reads, Epic Games CEO slams big tech leaders like Meta's Mark Zuckerberg and says that pretending to be Republicans in hopes of currying favor. I actually agree with him, ironically. Even though I've disagreed with the Epic Games CEO in the past, Tim Sweeney, I actually agree with him here, and I do thoroughly believe that a lot of these people like Mark Zuckerberg are quite simply just going the other way because, number one, they feel like it's safe to do so now, and number two, they feel like they have to do so now. So let's get into this article, guys, from Fandom Pulse. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney has slammed the big tech leaders and seemingly Mark Zuckerberg after his appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience. Now, I've only watched a little bit of the Joe Rogan Experience. I haven't been able to watch the entire episode. From the little bit that I've seen, though, from Mark Zuckerberg, all he's doing is shifting all the blame to the American government and the Biden administration. That's essentially what he's doing. He's shifting all the blame to them and saying that it was them who wanted the censorship. It was them who wanted all the silencing, the shadow banning. It was them. But the funny thing is, he still decided to do it on his platform. He still decided to say, okay, you want censorship? No problem. We'll do what you want, Big Daddy. That's exactly what happened here. So even though he's trying to shift all the blame, let it be known he has all the right to take the blame as well. And he should be taking that blame. And it's funny because one of the things he said was, well, I wasn't in a lot of the conversations about, what was happening. You're the CEO, my guy. You mean to tell me that when the American government comes to you and says you need to take this down, that you weren't there in that conversation, or at least some of them? I don't really believe that. But anyway, let's see what Sweeney has to say. So Sweeney wrote on X, after years of pretending to be Democrats, which I agree, that's 100% true too. These people, I want to be very clear, really fast. While they are pretending to be Republicans now, or at least going to the free speech side, they're also not Democrats too. These companies don't care, okay? These companies do not care about your social cause. And this is something I've been saying for years. And I'm glad that we are seeing this happen live for all of us to witness, because look how fast they dropped you. Right? I can only imagine all of the employees that were drinking the Kool-Aid and really thought that their company cared about their social cause, that really thought that their company cared about trans lives, that really thought that this company cared about LGBTQ rights or whatever. It's hilarious to see the people who drink the Kool-Aid get completely dropped live for everyone to see. And then you wonder, what's happening with those people? Where are those people now? The people who thought their company cared about them. Where are they? Nowhere to be found. They're going to go in hiding for the next 4 years and keep their heads down. But anyway, after pretending to be Democrats, big tech leaders are now pretending to be Republicans in the hopes of currying favor with the new administration. Beware of the scummy monopoly campaign to vilify competition law as they rip off consumers and crush competitors. Let it be known that all these companies that are supposedly dropping DEI, let it be known they're absolutely full of crap. I have another video coming out today. As you're watching this video, I have another video coming out that's going to go over that. So make sure you check the channel. I'm going to talk about a multitude of different companies that have dropped DEI initiatives all throughout the United States of America, and how every single one of them are just chameleons in hiding. They're all full of crap. Sweeney's comments came the day after the Joe Rogan, published a nearly 3-hour-long interview with Meta and Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, where he detailed he was loosening ideological censorship policies that the company had enacted. At the end of the day, man, the company decided to do this, right? As much as Mark Zuckerberg is going to want to blame the American government, I want everybody to understand that he decided to okay it. He decided to say, you know what? We will be the arm of censorship. We will be the arm of the government. We will be the ones to do this. You know who else did that, by the way? Starts with an N-word, right? Feiglinge! Verhalten Versager! Remember when people would say, oh, we were just soldiers doing our job. We were just We were just following orders. Yeah, you guys know exactly where I'm going with that. So you mean to tell me that Facebook was just following orders? That's the story that we're being told right now? Okay, my guy, you might as well join. I'm not even going to say. YouTube's going to be highly upset. So while Zuckerberg was talking with Rogan, his company was also rolling back various DEI policies it had implemented, Axios reported. So let's see exactly what's going on here. We have a list that I thought was very important to talk about, and I just want to bring it up to you guys before we move on. But look at this list here. This is the changes that Meta has announced, and this is what Sweeney is talking about. Because Sweeney's right. These people are absolutely pretending to be on the other side now. You know what I mean? Not that they're Democrats, because a lot of people will, thoroughly believe that they are, but not that they're Democrats. It's quite frankly that they are a company that is trying to survive the next 4 years that they know is coming. There's nothing they could do to change it. Donald Trump is going to go into office on the 20th, unless, some psychopath tries to stop that. But still, he's going to go into office, and they are trying to do everything they can to survive. But let's look at the changes they're doing. So it went on to announce a number of changes. On hiring, we will continue to source candidates from different backgrounds, but we will stop using the diverse slate approach. This practice has been subject to public debate and is currently being challenged. We believe that there are other ways to build an industry-leading workforce and leverage teams made up of world-class people from all types of backgrounds to build products that work for everyone. You should have been doing that from the beginning. Again, you mean to tell me, so this is basically what we had in the past, right? Like you decided to make this about diversity, and you took away what we'd had in the past, and this is why people view everybody as DEI hires. It's because of the company. It's not the fault of the people to have this idea in their mind, because you as a company have openly told us that you are specifically hiring people based on superficial statistics. Their skin color, where they come from, basically nothing to do with merit, and everything to do with how they're born. That's all that mattered to you. And then he said, we previously ended representation goals for women and ethnic minorities. Having goals can create the impression that decisions are being made based on race and gender. There is no impression. That is actually what it is. It's hilarious that he said impression when that's literally what it is. While this has never been our practice, we want to eliminate any impression of it. No, it has been your practice, and now you're just covering your ass. We are sunsetting our supplier diversity efforts within our broader supplier strategy. This effort focused on sourcing from diverse-owned businesses. Going forward, we will focus our efforts on supporting small and medium-sized business that power much of our economy. Opportunities will continue to be available to all qualified suppliers, including those who were part of the supplier diversity program. So they were essentially focusing on black businesses, right? They would use black businesses as a supplier for the stuff that Facebook needed as a corporation as much as they possibly could. They would specifically target and focus black-owned businesses, which is hilarious because that's actually racist. That's actually illegal. Like, you are not giving everybody the opportunity, and you're specifically targeting diverse-owned businesses, and then you want to sit there and pretend as if you totally weren't doing that. Yeah, okay. Instead of equity and inclusion training programs, we will build programs that focus on how to apply fair and consistent practices that mitigate bias for all, no matter your background. We will no longer have a team focused on DEI. Maxine Williams is now taking a new role at Meta, focused on accessibility and engagement. I want to be very clear. Accessibility is their new DEI. On top of the fact that DEI right now, and like I said, I'm going to go over this in another video, but DEI as a whole, just because they're saying they're getting rid of it doesn't mean it goes away, okay? A lot of their employees are already indoctrinated. They have been brought up in the DEI nonsense, and they already believe in it wholeheartedly. So even if the company says we're dropping the mandates, it doesn't matter. Those employees are already there. They're already indoctrinated, and they're good little worker bees, and they're not going to speak against the grain. They're going to continue to push this stuff, even if they do it just internally. They're going to rename it, rebrand it, whatever the case may be. We already know about Bridge. They're going to be doing this throughout the next couple of years, and they're going to sit there and try to pretend publicly that all of a sudden they're giving up on this stuff when they're not. I want to make it clear, they are not giving up on it. Is it great that they're announcing this to the world for everybody to see? Of course it is. It's great press, and it's good for people to realize that the pendulum is starting to swing. But don't get it twisted. They will absolutely try to push this ideology at some point. Even if it's not now, they will go back to it in a few years when it's time for another election. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate if you could like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.